Welcome back, data leaders, Python experts, large language model automators, to Insight Builder channel. How to get your own large language models like Text-Davinci and start practicing. This video will be a practical introduction along with the code that was shared earlier in the video. We will see the reason why we started all this. We wanted to connect all our services that we use day in and day out, starting from internet to the cloud infrastructure to the large language models. And how are we going to do that? We are going to use the Langchain Python library. There are other libraries that is coming into the market, but Langchain has taken a huge starting benefit, and they have been working tirelessly from the last October and before that, October 2022 and before that. So they have done a fabulous job, and they have done a great activity in linking these services to large language model. In order to start using this facility, we need to have a language model that is at your disposal at the way that you want to work. That is how you can learn faster. So that is one of the major challenges that I highlighted in the earlier video, that to learn fast, you need to have zero restrictions. You have to be more confident on trying out new things, experimenting new things. So that will be the key of this particular video, to show you how you can experiment and how you can get your hands on a large language model that can be ready to work with Langchain library. See, that is more important. Yes, large language models are available out there in the market, already out there. Okay, you could have seen already a couple of videos and links also. This video specifically works on helping you to connect these things, these services, with the large language model through Langchain. That is the the key point that I wanted to reiterate here. So how are we going to do that? By using the Collab environment that I had discussed in the earlier video. So if you are new to this video altogether, then I would suggest that you take a look at my earlier playlist. Just a moment. You can visit my channel, YouTube channel, and you can take a look at the playlist where I explain the Langchain library, and along with that I introduce the entire ecosystem in this particular video. You can take a look at this, and the next video I will be also uploading on how to get your own. This is the video that you would have seen where the theory has been explained. Theory, the background of the why you need to have a large language model at your disposal. So that was explained in this video. You can take a look at that. And the code that we are going to use is present in this GitHub repo. That the link will be shared in the description. You can take a look at that, and you can find the notebook at Langchain exploration folder. Once you go to this folder, you need to take the version 2 of the file and then take the link. You can come to the Google Collab environment and then use upload notebook and upload the notebook either using GitHub or directly download the notebook from GitHub and upload it here, whichever way is feasible for you. Once in the Google Collab notebook, the intention of sharing Google Collab notebook is three-pronged. First and foremost, Google Collab notebook has an ability to provide you a GPU RAM. So ensure that you can click on the manage sessions and ensure that your GPU has been allocated for you, or you can use the change runtime, click on this and change to GPU. This is the first step. Second step, the environment provided by Google is constant. So if the code executes here, and if I can show it to you, then you can also execute the same code at your end and you can experiment it. So that is the second thing. Third thing is that once we get the model into this Google Collab environment, we can then bring in Langchain model, and then we can create the Langchain based, you see this, we can create the Langchain based LLM object also. So all these three things are possible in Google Colab environment. That is the reason why I had shared this particular idea in the video. We will be going through this step. We will be going through these cells step by step. But before that, we need to understand from where the alpaca model came from. So just give me a second. So here we are. Alpaca model is a fine-tuned model of llama 7 billion model. And this particular model, we will be directly working with llama 7 billion in this video, and alpaca 7b is right now getting certain changes as this video is being made, but we will be able to understand how to get hold of it. So I'll be going through the code along with you. This llama 7b model can be found at Hugging Face. Hugging Face hub is the repository, or how to it's kind of a store place or repo place where you can get all the data sets, the models, and a lot of related details of the neural networks, not just only large language models, even the diffusion models for pictures, right? You can get it from there. The major point, as I was explaining in the presentation, right? That the point of all this getting the large language model is that you can have complete control of what you are doing. It will be in your control. Apart from that, what we will be doing is we have to also understand how the language model works, right? So we might be thinking, okay, large language model is actually a complex topic, but in fact it really need not be. Okay, so in the earlier video, I had explained that large language model is just a black box at this moment. Just consider that text or code or picture is going to come in, and text or a code or a picture is going to come out. Keep this kind of a model in your mind and then look at this video. Okay, so this black box will be slowly opened up, and then you will have more confidence. Okay, so this is what is happening, and after that you can start experimenting. That is the overarching goal of this video and the earlier video. Okay, now that we have the basic understanding of what is going on here, I'm going to go to the code right now, and I will start executing the code. So this particular first cell is going to import the various libraries that are required for the large language model from llama and alpaca to llama and fine tuning to work. Okay, so I will execute this. It will start installing, and I will also install the transformers, Langchain, and config parser. Config parser is not required, so you can remove this cell. It's not required because we are not anyway going to use the API key, so this is not required. And once that is all the libraries are installed, then we can start moving into the code. The code is actually very simple. Okay, what we are going to do is we are going to take two steps. First and foremost, we are going to pull this model. So this model has lots of this model is the key. So this has the weights and the parameters for that model, for the large language model that we are talking about, and it is almost 8 GB of parameters. It's 7 billion parameters, so it's very huge. And also it has got the config file which tells the other libraries like Langchain, transformers, and the ecosystem of Python that okay, this is the model, and it also says that it tells about the architecture, and it gives a lot of information through config.json. So you don't need to understand about these things as of now. So all I am asking you to do is that know what is behind the language model. That is the first thing that is important, correct? And then maybe in the future, if you are more comfortable with this technology and you want to learn more, then you can come down to Hugging Face and start learning about it. So first we will be doing that, and then what we will be doing is, so here we have already got the libraries installed. So this particular Hugging Face pipeline, this particular pipeline is actually coming from Langchain. So in Langchain, read the docs if you visit. So there is a way to create custom LLMs. Langchain library by itself can will be the glue. So Langchain library will be the glue for connecting the parts. So if you see this connecting part, the connecting arrow, this arrow is going to be Langchain. And why I am telling that it is Langchain? Because if you come here, you will see that, let me zoom in a bit, and you will see that it has lots of agents and chains that can work with, you see, let me go down, you see this, all these agents are going to work with the real world data, like the database, the code, the Python agent, and the CSV and JSON will be working with the files, and the vector store agent will work with the various data locations. Okay, and also it will work with the files very efficiently. And similarly, if you go up here, if you go into the chains, again you will see that there are different kinds of chains. So there are chains which can actually chain the parts together. So the earlier videos that I have made in this playlist explain deeply about these things. Why I am showing you all this is just to remind you that all this products, these services that we are talking about can be connected to large language model using Langchain. Okay, that is the reason why I'm again and again insisting. And this particular discussion that we are having here is going to get the model. So Hugging Face, this particular class will come from the Langchain library, and then it will take this model and convert it to in such a way that it can connect with Langchain. So for the Langchain to effectively connect our services and the large language model, the large language model has to be in a format which Langchain can work. So this particular class is going to do that. This entire code is for that purpose only. Only one point I want to insist here, that instead of using auto model causal LM and auto tokenizer, we have to use the llama tokenizer and llama causal LM. So this is the main change we need to take care, and we need to also import that. So here if you see, I imported these models here, these classes here. So this is the major point I wanted to highlight to you guys. Okay, the rest of the logic, what we are going to do is, we are not going to follow the class. We are going to manually, I will show you how to do it manually so that we can see the model getting downloaded. So here I am first downloading the tokenizer. So let me execute this, and you will see that it will download the tokenizer. And you can also take a look at the RAM. So the GPU RAM is right now 0. Okay, in a couple of minutes you will see that it is going to increase. And if you visit here, you will see that the tokenizer model and JSON file is here. The same file gets downloaded here. Okay, so this is how you can relate things. And when in the future, if you have to work with these kinds of files or the models, you should be knowing how to search for them. And next, what we are going to do is we are going to get the model parameters. As I showed you, all these are almost 6 to 7 GB of data is going to be coming down, and there will be 33 files. Okay, so if you are going to load it in your local machine, okay, it is going to take a considerable amount of time, so be ready for that. And now in this case, this is going to be pretty fast because this is inside the Google the network. So this download happens really fast, and we will see that the model gets prepared in less than 2 minutes. So as the model gets prepared, let me go down and I will explain the next step. We have to, in order to create the alpaca model, what the Stanford guys have done is they have created a new function or a new class. It is called as PEFT model. I am not going to explain about this in this video. Okay, this is beyond the scope of this introduction video, where the intention, the objective is different. I want to take the large language model and convert it into an object that Langchain can work with. Okay, that is my primary objective. So yes, this particular command is there. You can also explore that, but I would like to proceed further and create the pipelines. So before I create the Langchain ready object, I need to create a pipeline first. As per the logic that I explained above here, so you'll see that here the almost 16 files have got downloaded. All these bin files are coming from here. So all these bin files are coming from here. So these are all bin files basically. You see the bottom area, so I can click it and probably I can show it to you. So these are all the bin files that come in. Okay, so 22 of 33. I was about to show you the Hugging Face logic. So if you see the logic here, after I create the model, I create the tokenizer, I create the model, I pull in the model, and then I have to create a pipeline here like this. And this pipeline function actually comes from, this is little confusing way of writing the logic, but this entire code has been given directly by the Langchain guys. I have not written this. This has been given by Langchain guys, and I have just copied and pasted it. Only thing I realized is that we have to modify this to two classes, and then it can work. That is what I have analyzed and changed. I have not changed anything else. And finally, what will happen is, in order for the LLM, the Langchain to see this LLM, we need to have this definition, this method, these three methods, this method, underscore LLM type, and underscore identifying parameters. These three methods should be there. Then only Langchain can identify the model. Okay, now if you see, the model must be, yeah, it's still going on. So let it go on, and I think it is almost done. So now it is actually loading. So it has got all the files and it is loading. Now if you go to the RAM, you will see that it is increasing right now. So it will reach up to 8 GB. So almost 7.68 GB it will reach, and you can see as the shards are getting loaded, 18 files have got loaded, and you will see the GPU RAM keeps on increasing. These kinds of this is actually something that is not available for usually it's not shown to everybody. Okay, only people who are developing into the data science and natural language processing go to this level. But what I feel is that we need to know this also. Okay, knowing this will help us to take decisions properly. We might be only using it for our applications. Yeah, now it is done. Let us check it. Now I think it is done. Yeah, it is taken 3 minutes. It is done. So let us go back. Yeah, it is done. And now what we are going to do is we are going to create a pipeline. See, I'm not executing this code. I am not actually creating the Alpaca LoRa. So this is the highlight. Okay. To create Alpaca LoRa, what we need to do is we have to, you will see, I will create it at the end. I am not doing it now. I will create it at the end. So why I am not creating, I will tell you. So see, this is the model, this is the repo from which Alpaca LoRa model, the actual 7 billion model, comes in. This is called low rank adapter for llama 7 billion fit. Okay, this particular repo, the way they have actually fine-tuned it is really awesome. Okay, their files are very limited, but the concept behind their the fine-tuning is what gained the identity. So gained the identity. That's the right word. So let us get back to the code right now. So I'm jumping here and there because I want to show you guys what is going on at the back end. So we have the pipeline here, and I am going to execute this and create the model here. Okay, I have just given it as name as Alpaca model, but it's not Alpaca model. It's a llama model only. As of now, it's llama model only. I am creating this model, and then now this model is actually a Langchain ready model. So you can check it by using the type function alpaca model. If I execute this, and you will see that it will be coming as Langchain or LLM. So this can be read by Langchain, all the rest of the functions in Langchain, for functions and objects in Langchain, it can read. So let me show you where I will be using. Okay, in Langchain, there is something called as LLM chain. So LLM chains can be sequential or simple sequential. So in LLM chain, I need to have an LLM. Then only I can chain it. Okay. So here all the examples will be given based on OpenAI. But all you need to do is remove this and put this alpaca model. That's what we will be doing next. So here we will be creating a prompt template. If you are new to Langchain and you are not aware of prompt template or prompt engineering, etc., take a look at my earlier videos. You will get a very good idea. Okay. The point here is that we will be using the prompt template and we will create the LLM chain that I showed you just now, and we will be using alpaca model. Okay. And one more thing that I need to highlight is that when you are creating, ensure that you are keeping the max new tokens as 100. Else the model will take a lot of time to respond, okay, with the reply. When you are testing, keep it low and then slowly increase it based on your, because this is actually a free service that is available in Google. So ensure that you use it appropriately, okay, or else the runtime may not be sufficiently fast for you for getting a good response. That is the reason why I'm telling. So this is actually the environmental thing, the system environment I'm talking about. Also, the objective here was to introduce you to the large language model and able to work with that large language model by yourself. That is the main objective. So keep these things in your mind when you are testing this. Now we have the prompt. So it's a simple prompt. I am just telling, okay, list me 10 things you know about a question. So I can ask any particular topic to this. That is how the prompt has been created, and it will list 10 things about it. And now I am creating the chain with the prompt. So here is the model that I have created, and this is the prompt template that I am using, product prompt. And I am going to ask about the computer. So I say, okay, print, and I say execute it. And once I start executing, you will see that at the bottom lots of calls happen. Okay, multiple calls start happening once I execute this run command. This call is actually happening to the actual model inside. So the model that is getting created here, it is calling the pipeline, it is calling the tokenizer, it is calling the model, and the things start moving at a rapid pace. And if you are asking for more completion, instead of I have used 100, if I am using 1000, then it will take a lot of time to complete. So give it time. This is a different environment, so give it time. You see that it has completed and it has given the various things that it knows about computer, and it will return the same thing again and again, because what has happened is I have actually reduced the temperature. The model temperature has been reduced. If you go up, just a minute. So the way we are actually developing the model, we can actually control what are the parameters we are giving. So max new tokens, the tokenizer, the model, etc. And we can validate how we are going to get the output. So that is what I wanted to share with you guys. So now we know that, okay, you can interface with Langchain directly by executing this chain. By executing this chain, you can know. So you can actually try one more option also. So just copy this and instead of using computer, you can try some other model, some other name. So you can say jet engine. For an example, let us say jet engine, and let us see what the model knows about that. So if you ask about this, it will again start the process. You will see that it is starting the process, and the coherent replies that is coming from this model might, it is very similar to ChatGPT, right? It's almost equivalent to Text-Davinci, but it's not better than Text-Davinci. It is equivalent to Text-Davinci. The point here is that this particular model is right there with you, so you can use it the way you want. Okay, and you see that it has written the basic information, that who invented, when was it tested, and when was the engine used in the plane. So all these things, it is this particular model has been trained, and it is actually returning back. As we go through this process, this is something that I told in the earlier video also, that the point that we are giving a text and the black box, the LLM model, is actually giving out a text. Okay, the model in fact does not know anything about what this text is or what this text is going to be. This, all it knows is that it is numbers. Okay, and that is the main reason why I asked you to consider it as a black box in the beginning. Now you have actually gone through the entire process, right? You have seen what the model contains. You have seen the the guts of the large language model. This is something that it's very important. In the coming future, you will be seeing a lot of new products coming in, and if you have watched this video, you will be exactly knowing, okay, what is actually connecting with the large language model. So if I go back to the presentation, okay, the major point is that if you exactly know that, okay, something like Langchain is present, that is connecting these things with the large language model. Okay, you know this right now, and you know how the large language model looks and how the large language model works. Now when someone connects this and gives the product to you, you can appropriately evaluate it. Okay, if someone says that, okay, this is going to cost this much, or if this is going to take this much time, or if they say that, okay, this is something esoteric technology, you can talk with them in a logical fashion. That is an extremely powerful way of looking at the world. And believe me, as this large language model starts spreading out and new products come into market, then this kinds of challenges are going to be exorbitant right now, because this model, the large language model is by itself very complex. And if you are going to start by understanding all the basics, it will take you months together to come to where you are right now in this video. Okay, no one will actually come to try to explain to you in this way, because it is, in certain ways, I am actually bypassing all the processes. Okay, I am not giving you any basics about transformer model. I am not giving any information to you about encoder and decoders. Okay, you need not know. This is what I am trying to say. As an application oriented person, you have to understand how as a person who is driving the car, you must understand, okay, there is going to be an engine, there is going to be a steering wheel, there is going to be a clutch, and there is going to be a gearbox and a gear shifting rod. That is what I have shown you today. Okay, and I hope that you guys really understand where you can take it forward from here. So take a look at the other, take a look at this Langchain library also. I mean, it's one of the fascinating libraries that I've come across. And also you can take a look at my other videos in my, just a minute. So you can take a look at this Langchain library also. Sorry, I did not change the display. And you can take a look at my other playlists that I have shared, that is there in my YouTube channel for your better understanding. So I think that this will be a good starting point where you can start practicing using this model that we have, using this particular Jupyter notebook that has been shared with you in the GitHub repo, and start moving, guys. This is one of the good technologies that to master, and we have everything available with you right now. So test it out. And yeah, before we leave, I will just show you that how the alpaca model is getting generated. So what will happen is this PEFT is basically the fine-tuning function or library. So we execute this, so the model gets created. So you'll see that it goes to this particular repo and downloads the adapter. The challenge right now is the Stanford guys are doing modification to this repo and the code also. So what is happening when I am trying to pull the next step, where I am interfacing it with the large language model, this particular step is not going through. So I am getting this error that PFT model for causal LM is not supported. So this kind of issue has come. So we can see that I can use other models that is available, but not the PFT. Okay, so this is something that I am also researching right now. and you can also test it out. Okay, feel free and see how the outputs are. Okay, and the actual point is that after this is proper, what we can do is we can use this new model that we created as a pipeline, and we can create again the LoRa chain. So this time it will be LoRa chain. Last time it was alpaca chain. Sorry, it was product chain, right? So we created it here. We used alpaca model. Here we will be using LoRa model. So you see the model here, LoRa model. And then again we will ask the question. So we are asking what NFL team won the Super Bowl, and again the same process continues. So this calls the particular function, and it starts going through the process of generating the output. This particular what NFL team won the Super Bowl in year Justin Bieber was born is basically converted to, see, you see this. So this is completely updating that, okay, was born in 1994 and Dallas Cowboys won in Super Bowl. So basically the Super Bowl team the NFL team which won the Super Bowl was Dallas Cowboys. You can check this out. Okay, the point is sometimes the answer might be a little off also. The point is not that. The point is about how coherently it is able to answer. And it is very difficult for us to even think that the model is just giving us random data. Like we just cannot think that, okay, this is just a black box that is sending some numbers out and that is converted to text. But in fact, that is the reality. Okay, the tokenizer that you saw, the model, the tokenizer that you saw, the model that you downloaded, that is all math. There is actually nothing fancy about that inside that. It is purely math. It has lots of parameters. The parameters have been tuned with lots and lots of mathematical understanding. Yes, correct. I am not denying it. But when you come to use it, what you need to realize is that, okay, this is purely a black box made of parameters and which can actually generate numbers. This is what it has to again and again repeat when you are thinking about large language models. Then only what will happen is when you are going to interface that with various services or products, you will think in a way which is required for you to solve the problems. This is also one of the important point why I'm reiterating this. Even I'm going through this process again. So once you think, okay, how the output from these product services will interface with the large language model, this idea that, okay, this output that comes from these services or products or devices will be in form of numbers or text or audio format or video format, whatever format it is, will be converted to kind of a prompt or a number by using Langchain, and then it will be fed to language model, large language models. And then large language model will again provide you back the text, picture. Picture is not the right way, but I am talking about generally the large models here. It's not just language models. So even now ChatGPT 4 has got picture also involved in that. So yeah, in certain ways it is correct. So picture, video, whatever it is. Finally, it is just series of numbers. I hope that this particular video has given you a very good grounding on what exactly large language model is, how to start playing with that, and how to have one and understand it in a very different fashion. So all these points are hope it is very helpful for you guys, and leave a like so that I will know that my content is being useful, and share it with others, because this is very important knowledge that needs to be out there. Okay, and it is a very compressed and concise data, concise information that has been shared. So share it out and see if someone is going to tell you that it is something esoteric technology, talk to them and show them this video. So you will be surprised that, oh, is it that simple? And do subscribe to my channel so that you will get updates on similar kind of information, not just only on large language models, but also on Python, data engineering, and related subjects. So I hope that you will start practicing. So do start practicing the getting hold of large language models using the Jupyter notebook that I have shared. and have a great time, guys. It's a fun time to be around, and enjoy your time with large language model. Practice, 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 practice. See you guys.